The March 11th disaster underscored the need to help residents who do not speak Japanese get the services they need. Many foreigners live in Gunma Prefecture near Tokyo. Now, authorities there are taking measures to help to break down the language barrier.
A Japanese Peruvian patient consults with a doctor at a hospital. The hospital brings in a Spanish interpreter via this special computer terminal.
今日はどうされましたか?
Hoy día que se debe su consulta.
Me duele mucho el pecho.
Just like video conferencing, patients and doctors can speak with an interpreter located some distance away. Gunma Prefecture has been testing its newly developed remote interpretation network since April. Using original software, a call center reaches interpreters at home through the internet. All this hospital needs is the right equipment. Then it can contact qualified interpreters. The prefecture hopes other public institutions, like government offices and tourist sites, will use the service too. Officials started organizing interpretation services 5 years ago. The prefecture teamed up with a non-profit group that helps foreign nationals. It began training volunteer interpreters and sent them to hospitals and other service providers. After the March earthquake, they started thinking about improving the operation. 400 people offered to help foreign victims. 20% of the volunteers live overseas. With such a widespread pool of volunteers, they realized they could set up a remote interpretation system that operates 24 hours a day.
When it's nighttime here, it's daytime in Brazil. So when a hospital receives a patient in the middle of the night, it can request help from a bilingual Brazilian in Brazil. We hope with this borderless system, anyone can offer help.
Several local places are testing the service. Among them is this tourist facility, where travelers learn about Japanese culture. An interpreter 20 kilometers away translates.
よろしくお願いします。
何の絵を描いてるんですか？
在画什么画？
啊，我在画日本的雪女人。
Communication was effortless. Everyone was satisfied. But when the system was tested in a hospital, there was a problem. Interpreters don't have close access to patients. So the interpreters have trouble understanding exactly how a patient feels. It's hard to describe the patient's condition to the doctor.
Doing simultaneous translation when patients are right beside us is easier because we have a better understanding of how they're feeling.
I think it is best for interpreters to become familiar with the patient's overall condition first, before the interpreting begins.
The prefecture is discussing practical ways with users and interpreters of setting up a viable service.
Interpreters are judging a situation using only screen images and sound, so it's important to hone your skills. The challenge will be figuring out how to make the system easier for use on a case-by-case basis.
A very useful and necessary service there. All right, well, the arrival of December in Japan brought a blast of winter to the eastern and